Edomites, Idumaea. The Hebrew word Edom means red, and the Hebrew Bible relates it to the name of its founder Esau, the elder son of the Hebrew patriarch Isaac, because he was born red all over. As a young adult, he sold his birthright to his brother Jacob for a portion of red pottage. The Tanakh describes the Edomites as descendants of Esau. Edom/Edomite. DM, Hebrew, lit. Red, Akkadian, Edomi, Edomu. Ancient Egyptian, JDWM, was an ancient kingdom that stretched across areas in the south of present-day Jordan and Israel. Edom and the Edomites appear in several written sources relating to the Late Bronze Age and to the Iron Age in the Levant, including the list of the Egyptian pharaoh Seti from c. 1215 BC, as well as in the Chronicle of a Campaign by Ramesses III, r. 1186 to 1155 BC, and the Tanakh. Archaeological investigation has shown that the nation flourished between the 13th and the 8th centuries BC and was destroyed after a period of decline in the 6th century BC by the Babylonians. After the fall of the Kingdom of Edom, the Edomites were pushed westward towards southern Judah by nomadic tribes coming from the east. Among them were the Nabateans, who first appeared in the historical annals of the 4th century BC and had already established their own kingdom in what used to be Edom by the first half of the 2nd century BC. More recent excavations show that the process of Edomite settlement in the southern parts of Judah and parts of the Negev down to Timnah had started already before the destruction of the kingdom by Nebuchadnezzar II in 587/86 BC. Both by peaceful penetration and by military means and taking advantage of the already weakened state of Judah. Once pushed out of their territory, the Edomites settled during the Persian period in an area comprising the southern hills of Judea down to the area north of Beersheba. The people appear under a Greek form of their old name as Idumeans or Idumeans, and their new territory was called Idumea or Idumea, Greek. Delta Omicron Upsilon Nu Alpha Alpha, Idumaea, Latin, Idumea, a term that was used in the Hellenistic and Roman periods, also mentioned in the New Testament. During the 2nd century BC, the Edomites were forcibly converted to Judaism by the Hasmoneans and were incorporated into the Jewish population. Other scholars believe that the assimilation was voluntary. Edom and Idumea are two related but distinct terms. They relate to a historically contiguous population but to two separate, if adjacent, territories which the Edomites/Idumeans occupied in different periods of their history. The Edomites first established a kingdom, Edom, in the southern area of modern-day Jordan and later migrated into the southern parts of the Kingdom of Judah, Idumea, modern-day Mount Hebron. Dubious, discuss, when Judah was first weakened and then destroyed by the Babylonians in the 6th century BC. The Edomites may have been connected with the Shesu and Shutu, nomadic raiders mentioned in Egyptian sources. Indeed, a letter from an Egyptian scribe at a border fortress in the Wadi Tumilat during the reign of Merneptah reports movement of nomadic Shesu tribes of Edom to watering holes in Egyptian territory. The earliest Iron Age settlements, possibly copper mining camps, date to the 11th century BC. Settlement intensified by the late 8th century BC, and the main sites so far excavated have been dated between the 8th and 6th centuries BC. The last unambiguous reference to Edom is an Assyrian inscription of 667 BC. Edom ceased to exist as a state when it was conquered by Nabonidus in the 6th century BC. Edom is mentioned in Assyrian cuneiform inscriptions in the form Edomi and Edomu. Three of its kings are known from the same source. Cosmolaka at the time of Tiglath-Pileser III, c. 745 BC, Iramu at the time of Sennacherib, c. 705 BC, and Khosgabri at the time of Esarhaddon, c. 680 BC. According to the Egyptian inscriptions, the Edomites at times extended their possessions to the borders of Egypt. The existence of the Kingdom of Edom was asserted by archaeologists led by Ezra Ben Yosef and Tom Levy by using a methodology called the Punctuated Equilibrium Model in 2019. Archaeologists mainly took copper samples from Timnah Valley and Fainan in Jordan's Arava Valley dated to 1300 to 800 BC. According to the results of the analysis, the researchers thought that Pharaoh Shoshenq I of Egypt, the biblical Shishak, who attacked Jerusalem in the 10th century BC, encouraged the trade and production of copper instead of destroying the region. Tel Aviv University professor Ben Yosef stated, "Our new findings contradict the view of many archaeologists that the Arava was populated by a loose alliance of tribes, and they're consistent with the biblical story that there was an Edomite kingdom here." Idumaea. After the conquest of Judah by the Babylonians, Edomites settled in the region of Hebron. They prospered in this new country, called by the Greeks and Romans Idumaea, or Idumea, for more than 4 centuries. Strabo, writing around the time of Jesus, held that the Idumeans, whom he identified as of Nabatean origin, constituted the majority of the population of western Judea, where they commingled with the Judeans and adopted their customs, a view not necessarily shared by modern scholarly works.